Okay, welcome to our new Call of Cthulhu game series. Our new series, this is still game 1, and this is session 2. Our first session was last Wednesday night, but if you're watching for the first time, don't worry. We'll catch you up. We always do that. Let's see here. Oh, date. November 19th, 2014. Did I say that already? And Patrick, let me put Patrick on the screen here. Patrick is our game master. I have an announcement. I learned today that, let me pull it up. Chaosium just came out with Horror on the Orient Express, Call of Cthulhu game. So when we're done with this game, we're going to play that next.
Yep. Isaac and all the rest of the Arkham gang will be there. So.
Let me tell you, this is going to be really a hell of a lot of fun for the players and for the people watching. I've just heard this is just a really, really great story. Man, I love stories on trains too.
Is Blair going to be running?
Man dies 3 times in one night. The puzzling headline begins a front-page article found in the Times of London. 3 men, all identical in identification, were found dead in the same room at the Chelsea Arms Hotel. All were dispatched in a similar manner, stabbed through the heart. Horror on the Orient Express, I'm skipping ahead, contains a massive and legendary campaign.
Yeah.
Wow, just the PDF is $60. And you get the print version, it's like 3 times that, I think.
And the box set comes with all kinds of cool add-ons and props and stuff.
Yeah, very much worth it, I hear. So anyway, that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Who's going to be running it?
I don't know yet. I'm going to ask Nick if he wants to, since it's his product. Nick at Chaosium, or, you know, I could run it, or if one of you guys really wants to run it, I would be fine with that too.
The Blair.
Patrick got a chance to play the game.
Insane.
Oh, I didn't catch what anybody said. What?
I remember Blair making a promise that he'd run it when it came out.
Blair? No, he's busy.
He lied.
Yeah.
I
Again, when you get older, you'll find out that promises the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll ask him if he wants to, but I think he's pretty busy with some stuff, so I'm definitely gonna have a plan B and C. But it doesn't really matter who runs it. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And so anyway, there's that announcement. Horror on the Orient Express. How many sessions, just approximately, you think we're gonna do with this game, Patrick?
Probably maybe I can do 2 or 3, 4 at most, depending on if something happens or just depends
on. So we'll probably start Horror on the Orient Express in 3 to 4 weeks, is what you're saying.
Possibly, depends all on the players. If they, they're,
I'm not gonna hold you to it. But,
yeah.
With since we're talking about similar things, next week is American Thanksgiving. Is that going to interfere with anybody's being here the night before?
That's a good question.
I'm not cooking this year, so I'm good.
I'm gonna be around, I'm pretty sure.
I do not know, but I want to say I can be here, so I don't know. I'll see how things.
Look, missing that day is perfectly understandable. If we miss if more than a couple of you guys can't make it, then I would say that we probably should skip. So why don't you guys let me know? Email me in the next couple of days when you find out, get your schedules together.
All right. Groovy.
So, all right. So Horror on the Orient Express in a month and a half, whatever. It's going to be awesome. In the meantime, we are playing this game. It's 1896. Is that right, Patrick?
Yes, 1895 or yeah. Sorry.
96.
Oh, I'm
See
sorry.
what you did, Mike? You
Don't go
completely
changing
screwed
that.
him up from last week.
I'm playing
That's what
96.
I'm trying to do. Mission accomplished. So anyway, welcome to everybody that's watching. Glad you're here. I really love getting together with all you guys here playing, and love all the people that watch. I feel like I've made a lot of friends, so it's something I really enjoy. Patrick or whoever, do you want to catch us up on what happened last Wednesday night? That was session 1.
I can probably do that. So basically, our band of players are part of the the Stewart Occult Investigation Society, SOIS, and they were recently invited to a party of occult enthusiasts and such. They actually talked to Karnatsky, the Ghost Finder, Mycroft Holmes, and a guy named Nigel, who was a bit of a dick. However, upon returning from their party, they found a corpse with his limbs torn off and his body drained of blood. Upon further research, they found that this guy was one of Charlie's men's crime boss in Whitechapel, also known as the hunting place of Jack the Ripper. They went to talk to him, and he said that he thought the Lance of the Limelight District were doing it, and as such, they went to investigate. When they did, they found a dark man with his face covered with a top hat and all in black. He tore off a Chinese man's head and disappeared into sewers with the rest of the body. Now, they took the head and went to the Chinese man's, they looked around through the relationship of the Chinese man and found their daughter. Before they could ask the daughter any more questions, 2 Chinese men asked for them to come with them. And that's where we left off.
I'm sorry, Matthew, what?
Well, I was just going to. I am the one that has the head in the sack.
Yeah.
They don't. Look, we do not acknowledge the head.
I have plans for that.
Those that are watching, and if you have suggestions for the players, comment on the message board. We'll keep an eye on it. We're missing Vince and Corey tonight. Vince is sick. Corey said last week he wouldn't be able to make it tonight. And James, I think, is going to be here in a little bit. He's running late because of the weather. So, is my understanding. So anyway, I think that covers everything. So go ahead, Patrick. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm feeling really bad. My illness really kicked in, so I'll be in and out. So.
All right. Take care, Mike.
Yeah. I'll be
all right. So I'm assuming that you guys went with the Chinese guys, right?
Did they give us a choice?
No, they did not.
Yes, they went with them.
Okay. So basically, these 2 guys look like to be like the part of they're wearing kind of very simplistic Chinese clothing, but you can tell by looking at them that they seem to be gang members, kind of part of the local triad here. And basically, they kind of take you through a lot of backside of the alleys of the Limelight District, very close at hand. They eventually kind of reach this kind of a door, like this large door of a laundromat, and they kind of knock on it, and then it slides open, and basically the guy looks at them and nods, opening it up, and they continue leading through all these clothing and washing into kind of a bigger building, like behind a laundromat. And inside is kind of this giant sphere of a few floors reaching up into the sky, and inside there are Chinese men all carrying swords, spears, a few firearms, and just all manner of weapons from the Orient. And they seem to be all looking at like this platform on like the bottom level, and appears to be 2 men engaging in a martial arts fight.
To backtrack a bit, while we're walking through the laundry, may I attempt to discreetly ditch the head in a laundry basket?
Let me see here. What would that cause?
Is there anything I could possibly run into forcibly that can help him distract them so he can do that? We really do not need to be found with that head.
Right, let me see here. Let me do some crunching some numbers. These guys appear to be watching you very heavily. These guys are very like disciplined. So
Very, very.
what's your hidden? What's your hidden?
Hidden?
Yeah.
Hide?
Hide. Sorry.
Hide is 15.
15.
If I punch Captain in the stomach,
Conceal is 15.
how much
No,
can
it
I
doesn't.
get him as a bonus?
Maybe 5. But plus these guys. So I'll tell you what.
Follow
me-
Dusty Peter.
Give me a roll. Give me just a roll on your conceal, and I'll see if they spot you.
Alright. And 88 is way higher than 15.
Yeah, I don't need to. I don't need to do anything.
Oh, bollocks.
So basically they're like, wide eyes, look forward, and then basically keep you like, moving forward before you can do anything.
Ah, it's a brown.
Anyways, moving back. So basically there's a lot. There's a lot of men are crowded, and these men are engaging in their martial arts fight. And it's it's actually a very intense fight. It seems like these men are performing high-level moves. And being not of the kind of never familiar with Chinese culture is for this is Chinese boxing. But at the same time, you guys this is like I think the first time you ever seen it in person, so this is quite a spectacle. So are you guys?
I have much greater concerns on my mind than them fighting right now.
Yeah. So basically they're kind of keeping you there for a while, just kind of letting you watch the fight. So they're just like holding you in a single position right now. So what do you guys do?
Hey, gents, what's this all about?
Are you talking to the Chinese
I'm
men?
asking them. I'm talking to the ones leading this. Hey, what's this about?
Basically says, our boss wants to speak to you.
Look, we just passing through, looking for a little information, and just, we weren't looking for any trouble. So, does this have to happen right now?
They say, he wants to see you now. We have orders. And basically, as you guys are talking, you notice in the court, like basically kind of in the shadows, like of one of the hallways, that enters like a more of a different Chinese man wearing a very a Chinese. You okay, Leia?
It's okay. You bought me time to think.
Anyways, in the alley, basically, like a very kind of a Chinese man wearing a very interesting kind of Chinese robe with his hands in his like sleeves. He walks up and he's wearing a hat, basically a Chinese hat, and his hair braided downward, and he looks very unusual to you, and not in the sense that he's from the Orient or Chinese or something like that. You automatically feel off, and he appears to be staring at your captain very intently.
Yep.
Covered my captain in blush.
I'm sorry, that was good. Alright, I guess Captain Ben asked him who he is.
The guy who was like in the shadows is a bit far away.
Oh, so we just saw him, he hadn't quite made it to us yet.
Yeah, no, he's kind of like watching you from the distance. But you can tell he looks very unusual. Does anyone have an anthropology roll, or Cthulhu Mythos roll?
Oh,
No.
I
can try to roll
one
all
more than my other. Yeah, that's my anthropology is one more than my Cthulhu
Or,
Mythos.
or a spot hidden. A spot hidden would work as well.
Okay, I can do
mine
that.
6 is not working. So there's
Yeah.
that.
I don't see anything. I'm a bit worried about what we have on us.
Yeah.
And I critically failed, so
Yeah.
I'm looking in a sack.
Are you just like you got your head buried in the?
I'm opening a sack. Are you?
There is nothing in here to see.
Hey John, you're with the guys, aren't you?
No, it was Vince's character and the cap that was with us.
All right.
Everybody else
three of
went to
them.
the police department.
I think if you guys want, I'll give you another chance for Vincent, the captain's role. For Captain Ben's roles.
I will roll for him, even though I don't have a clue what his is.
Just use yours, and I'll just pass it off as Captain Ben's because.
Yeah, I passed if that's the case.
Okay. So looking at this Chinese guy, you notice he looks he's kind of comparing him to all the other Chinese men. He is definitely kind of has a he's very variant of the other Chinese men. Comparing him to another Chinese guy, you can tell that his features are a bit more different, a lot more different.
Noted.
And paler. Forgot how. Let's see here. So the fight goes on, and basically, the one of the guys kind of does a kick, and the guy goes underneath, and then basically kicks him in the back, and then basically the guy's on the floor, and then basically the guy counts, and then he ends up getting victory. They both bow to each other, and then the guy who won kind of turns around and looks at you, and then basically signals his, basically gives a nod with his men, and they nod back, and they're leading you basically further into the compound. And they basically kind of take you to this dining room of this a very interesting table. It looks to be like a very long dinner table with Chinese chairs. Basically, the guy who was fighting basically sits down at the head of the table with the other gentleman who was watching from the shadows. He's beside him, and you all are seated kind of on the sides and kind of on the end of the table facing him, and there are men all around you.
Hello.
Yeah, sit down confidently in the chair next to Captain Ben.
Well, I'm waiting until somebody invites me to sit.
It's kind of implied that you have to sit.
Oh. All right.
It's one of those shindigs.
I wasn't trying to be defiant. I was trying to be polite.
All right. So basically, he looks at you all, and basically, talking to one of his men, and basically they respond back in the Chinese, and he basically looks at you and says, "Who are you?"
Well, I'm First Mate Kennedy, and this is Captain Ben. He's a little under the weather at the moment. We were passing through on some business, is all.
Passing business. White eyes don't come into my territory without permission.
Hey, now we were not trying to cause any trouble. Just came to investigate the area a little bit. Heard you had some nice wares. Maybe Captain Ben wants to do some business with you. I always have to keep an eye out for opportunities.
Basically, he kind of signals as one of his men, and his men kind of come to you, Rudyard, and kind of take the sack out of your hands, and basically,
I'm going to want that back.
What?
I said I'm going to want that back.
Oh, and basically one of them kind of opens it, and they take out the head, and then basically
I'm going to want that back.
And basically all the Chinese guys are kind of whispering to themselves. He says, then why did you take the head of one of my employees?
Look, sir, we had no idea he was one of your employees. We saw him getting attacked on the street, and this is what ended up happening to him. Some joker dressed in black ran off into the sewers, and we were trying to figure out who he was. We figured it wasn't nice to leave him laying in the street like that, though.
Basically, once you mentioned this black suited man, he basically kind of leans back in his chair and thoughts, and basically he and his his friend in their robes kind of was watching the shadows. They talk to each other in Chinese, and they're talking very intently. You don't know what they're saying, but he kind of motions his head toward you a few times, but then it's more or less focused between the two. How are you guys acting currently?
I'm just staring at him. I just told him the truth. I have no reason to act nervous.
They took it away from me. I'm fine.
I like that head.
Well, I read the Arabian Nights. There's this story where they take the head and they put it on this pile of special herbs and it talks. And I was thinking maybe if we could figure out how to do that, he could tell us more.
Yeah, I motioned to him that he's a little touched upstairs.
But then there's the problem of figuring out how to preserve the head until we find out how. So this is just
let me see here. So basically, Dana says this man. He's the one who ripped off the head?
Scout's honor. We shot him a couple of times, and he just kind of looked at us and threw a head at us. Ran out down the alley, and I wasn't going to follow somebody threw a head at me.
And basically, he nods at this and says, then why? I do not believe you are here to browse my wares. Why are you here?
Seems like a couple of other blokes that ended up in this situation. Well, not particularly the headless part, but somebody's been killing people, and we were a little curious as to what was going on.
He basically raises one of his eyebrows and says, are you talking about Charlie?
Perhaps. And it's not just Charlie's guys. I heard it was some other people, too. Does none of us any good to have somebody running around offing people like this. Is bad for business for everybody.
That's right. He thought that maybe you were the ones going around lopping people's heads off.
X-nay on the...
Who, what?
Shh.
He basically shakes his head and says, I don't go into Wide-Eye's territory. Couldn't hold it much for long if I tried.
Looking at your reaction to what we just said, I'm inclined to believe you didn't do anything, but do you have any idea who might be doing something?
He basically says, my men have been also getting killed. Not as much as I've heard from Charlie, but also. Let's see this.
Who do you think it might be?
He basically shrugged his shoulders. Me. Who knows? Third party? New gang?
Like it. I don't know about a new gang, but I've never seen a guy get shot and just act like it didn't happen before.
He basically kind of chuckles himself. He says, you Wide-Eyes, so ignorant of the world.
I'm not the one that said I don't know.
He basically also looks over to his friend and basically smiles to himself. And basically, yeah, kind of says, what was he gonna say? Shit, I forgot. One sec. He basically says, I think our business is done here. Go tell Charlie or whoever it wasn't me. Is there any other questions you guys want to ask him?
It depends. Does it look like they don't believe me about the head?
No, the guy who's the leader, his name is Jet Xing. And basically, he's the leader of the Red Dragon Triads.
Well, I'd just like to mention that we're independent contractors. We're not associated with any criminal organizations or any organizations, really, except for the Occult Society. And so would it be all right if we came back and did some shopping in the area, or maybe poked around and looked to see if we could figure out more about this crazy person running around lopping people's heads off?
Yeah, basically, Jet agrees to that. You know, but he says, like, you know, if he catches any of you like performing business without his say so, he'll probably dip you in acid or something.
Very step in at this. It's like, look, hey, we just myself and the good captain here only want to be on your good graces. What's good for business for you is good for business with us. It's not going to do us any good to cause you any problems.
Let's see here. So basically, do you guys want to leave? Basically, or is there something else you guys want to add?
If Captain Ben was here, he'd probably want to do something else, but I'm more apt to want to get out with my neck intact.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do ask him this: is it okay if we happen to ask any people on the street if they saw anything?
So basically, you guys are leaving Jets and Shang?
Right.
Yeah, I asked him if it's okay if we ask anybody if they saw something.
Yeah, basically he says whatever amuses you.
And he can keep ahead, you know, think about it.
Yes, he can keep the head. Now, come on.
I'm sure there's more to come.
All right.
Look, he's just, you know, hitting the head by a horse. Have to excuse him. Come on.
All right. As you guys are leaving, basically, there's like the guy next to Jet, who was standing there, kind of like stops, kind of Ben by the shoulder, and basically gives him like a very evil smile, and then basically kind of walks by on his way.
Huh. Noted. And that makes me uneasy if I saw it, so I'm not going to keep the cap there.
Alright, so basically they let you out somewhere near the location. Yeah, so you guys are back in the Limehouse district, away from the Red Dragon headquarters.
I think we overstayed our welcome in this area for the moment being. We probably...
I just said we could do shopping and things, but we do owe an explanation. Charlie did hire us to find some things out.
He did. You got. I don't think anybody will be talking to us today, considering what just happened.
Right.
Yeah. So do you guys want to regroup with the rest of the gang then, basically?
Yeah.
We can send the captain off to relay the message to Charlie, and
that's not normally how it goes down. You go with the captain. I'm gonna go relay the message to Charlie.
Oh, all right. If you want to relay the I'll regroup with everybody else.
I mean, I am the first mate. I'm pretty sure I'm the one he'd send to do that.
Right, but
you know we do have.
Or we can both go.
Huh?
Again, we probably just need to regroup because honestly, we have nothing to tell Charlie yet anyway. So it's just better to regroup. I'd rather not just give him a half-hearted answer of, we saw a dude in a cloak. Charlie seems a little on the edge.
Well, we do want to make sure that he doesn't go starting a war against the Chinese on a mistaken impression.
well,
True, but it'd be better to give him some information once we know what you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
A telegram. Do not start killing Chinese people yet.
Oh, okay, so while you guys are regrouping, I believe But the rest of the gang was at the police station trying to research police records, right?
I think the American detective had some connections or had established a rapport with the investigator. I think we were going to go
Yeah.
quiz him about other...
Yeah, so that would be probably Leia, Kim, and you. And probably Corey, but he's not here, so. You three. So, basically, so you're at the police station, and basically, yeah, so how do you guys want to go about doing this?
Oh, I see you've come to visit me finally. Please get me out of this hellhole and bail me out.
I thought we had agreed that our keeper's godly powers had gotten me out already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
On a technicality.
Yes, that murder by Pan has been pardoned.
Because they'd never heard of it before.
Now, why are we coming back here? I don't want to come back here. This is not a place for me to be. Would you like me to go home and make you some crumpets? They'll be delicious.
Yeah, you're with me.
Fine, fine. Now, why are we here?
Remind me why we're here.
Please.
That is a good question. I actually forgot why you guys are there.
We were trying to see what the who else had been killed by this individual, and if we could establish the pattern, and what other. And we basically knew what they knew about the one that they found, but they hadn't told us anything about the previous ones that had been killed. And I think we're just kind of looking for a pattern of where or why he's selecting the victims he's selecting.
Oh,
Okay.
Alright, so, like, do you want to talk to the inspector, or you just want to go more into records?
let's see. I'll talk to it and then. Why don't we go talk to that kind inspector-looking guy over there? He seems kind of hungry. I can perhaps bribe him with a biscuit or 3.
Oh, yes. Wonderful idea.
Alright. Alright, so, you walk over to the guy. He basically, is, like, looking through some papers and basically knows you. It's like, oh, hello there. May I help you?
Well, hello. I was wondering if you. Well, what you got there?
I will hand my trusted servant a card and have her present it to the gentleman.
Basically, he takes the card and says, "Oh, Miss Stewart. Yes, I've heard of you in your Cold Investigation Society.
Yes.
How may I help you?"
I mean, do we presume he knows about the dead guy?
I'm
Honestly,
assuming it'd be news.
depends. Like, you're asking an inspector, you know, so you have to kind of ask him in order to know.
Okay.
You asked a random inspector. You didn't like target anybody.
There's a lot of dead people in this city. Could you be more specific?
Well, very well then. We want to ask you about the recent murder.
Murder? I'm afraid that is a very grim topic that occurs frequently here.
See?
Well, this one's rather unique. You see, the body was torn apart.
Ooh.
Now, that doesn't happen very often, does it?
It's been happening more often than we'd like. To tell you the truth, we're not supposed to talk about it. Inspector Craddock is on the head of the case currently. If you'd like, you could go talk to him. He knows more about it.
Very good. Very good. Come, Lolly.
Basically,
All right, let's go.
basically, you guys find yourself with Inspector Craddock. Now, you guys have met Inspector Craddock before in your first adventure with Jackal. So, he kind of looks from his papers and he's like, oh, good lord, not you, lot.
Was he
I'm sorry, what was that, dear?
Was he on the scene of the crime last night when we found the body?
Yes, he was.
Okay, so he knows we were involved in this as well.
More or less, yeah. Can I help you, Lot?
I am not accustomed to coming across, what's the word? Dissected bodies in the road. I'd like to know more about this.
You basically,
I
like,
understand you're the man who can tell me.
I can, but I won't. This is police business.
No, but it's mine too.
So,
You see,
what would an occult society deal with bodies?
Well, why wouldn't a cult society deal with bodies? It's only a part of the whole being. Just as much as the spirit.
Unfortunately,
Metaphysics, man.
And I'm sure you'll agree that these are not your normal sort of murders.
it doesn't mean I'm gonna go to crackpots with old books who think they know what's going on.
Crackpot? What? I
So-
beg your pardon.
You're insulting me, lady here.
So your lordship does know what's
Miserably.
going on then? You figured out who's doing these murders?
Like I said, it's police business.
Okay. I'm going to do a persuade.
Very good.
And I made it.
Alright. So basically he sighs and, like, defeat and basically says, if you must know, I'll tell you. And basically, kind of is willing to tell you more about, to answer your questions.
Okay. Better. Okay, so what questions do we want to ask him?
What can he tell us about who has been murdered? And what sort of patterns are they seeing? We don't know about the Chinatown ones yet, but we do know that Charlie's gang has been killed off, and Charlie told us that before his gang was killed off, a bunch of innocent people were killed.
Alright, so basically, to answer that question, basically he gives you kind of his list, and he's kind of has his own little map, kind of with the murders marked out and the dates. So basically, as far as, it seems to be that a few members, it kind of goes like this. So basically, it was a few members of Innocence, then one or two Chinese men died, then kind of back to the guys in Whitefall, then another one or two or three Chinese guys, then it kind of moved on to Charlie's men, and then basically another Chinese guy, and now we're up to now, where it was another Chinese guy. Or, they don't know about the current murder, but the last murder they have recorded is the Charlie's guy.
Oh, they all seem to be located around the similar area?
He basically says most of the murders kind of happen in their own, like in two areas. It's either in the Limehouse district, basically in a very close proximity of the district, and the same with Whitechapel. It seems to be very inside the district, with occasional ones, bleeding out, but not too much.
Any clues found on any of the bodies other than what we saw, torn apart and drained of blood?
All the same MO, and nothing that could have probably figured out what happened exactly. The current working theory they have is they want to say it's some kind of gang war. They've been under an assumption that it's a gang war, of some sort, and that basically it was started by the Triads by ripping apart and doing some weird, Oriental kind of torture of draining of blood, and and in order to respond, they figured that the Whitefall residents kind of attacked similar enough, and that's why it's been happening. So that's the only working theory they have, that makes sense at the moment.
And have all the bodies been drained of blood completely with no trace of where it went?
He basically says, all gone. He does mention though that like he says limbs are missing. Sometimes sometimes head, sometimes legs, sometimes all of them, sometimes half of them. So basically the limb disappearance has been sporadic.
Doesn't sound like street crime.
No, doesn't sound like a typical ruffian. What makes you so sure it's gang warfare?
He says we have Chinamen going down, and we got some delinquents down in Whitefall getting murdered as well. Both in the same way.
Always at night?
What?
Always at night?
Around, yeah. As far as we can label, yes, night.
So we're looking for like a vigilante nocturnal mosquito.
Vigilantes don't rip off limbs and drain their friends of blood.
They couldn't have been two good friends.
He basically shakes his head. Sorry? Go ahead.
No vicious animals on the loose, no howling on the horizon or anything.
He basically says, if you wish to find missing animals, go to the zoo.
Is there? Well, I guess there is a zoo. Is there a shady circus from Romania in town or something?
He basically kind of strays off, if you're not going to ask me intelligent questions, I'd ask you to believe.
Does anyone have any other intelligent questions?
No.
No.
I'm very happy you specified intelligence.
Do we... Now, I'm curious about the first couple of victims that were not involved in crime at all. They were in the same Limehouse or Whitechapel area?
He nods, yep. In the same district.
Well, that's the mystery there, is why were they killing off innocent people and then decided to start killing bad guys?
And that's a mystery I'm going to have to figure out there, my friend.
That's why you're paid all that money, Governor. All right. Can you tell us about the first one and where it was?
He says the first one was in Whitechapel.
Always men? Any women and children?
Most men. Only men.
So no trace of Jack then.
He basically says, Jack only targeted prostitutes. And unfortunately for us, that case has been closed. Huh? What?
Could any of those men have been prostitutes?
I assure you that they weren't. And
Gigolos need love too, baby. Gigolos need love too.
Hey, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right, but you're forgetting that the police inspector is familiar with all the male prostitutes.
He knows every male prostitute in the city.
Every gigolo for miles.
Purely professional curiosity, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah, I don't see what you're doing in that back alley there. I'm just walking along.
Policing.
It's quite moist back here.
Too moist. Too moist by half. All right. Well, I wouldn't want your job, Governor. We'll let you know if we find anything, if you'll let us know. You could send word round to us.
he kind of rolls his eyes but nods. And basically he says Wallace will lead you out, and his kind of partner, and so he leads you out.
Okay. Yeah, because I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So I'm assuming you guys all regroup afterward then.
Back to the clubhouse.
Yes.
It's the party at our place. All right.
Yeah. Yes, the clubhouse near Buckingham Palace with a statue of Thad, flipping a runoff in front.
Yay!
I'm sure you'd appreciate that.
It's a conversation piece.
There's a plaque that says, "I fucking hate you all."
Quick question. When we saw what we saw, was it daytime?
What? No,
Daytime.
no, you saw it like at night.
Okay, just making sure.
All right.
All the more reason to not stay. Anyway,
So, I'm assuming you tell us everything that you learned, and we tell you everything that you learned.
Yeah. I mean, I got a bottle. Let's talk. It's been a rough day.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys debrief, and you guys are all up to speed on what, kind of what you guys know.
Well, it sounds like you interrupted him just as he was getting ready to drain the blood.
Seems about.
And it sounds like you saw him make off for the sewer.
Sure did.
And I'm wondering how much sewer is between Whitehall and Limehouse.
Wasn't about to see right then.
I can certainly understand that.
Very well, you may go into the sewer for me.
Thank you.
Very dangerous. You go first.
Am I going to have to fashion a pair of waders?
We may need to lay a little low in the slant part of town. They're probably not all that happy with us at the moment.
They said that we could come back anytime we liked.
Yes, and sometimes you have to read between the lines, Woody.
Well,
Sometimes it's best to let them calm down a little bit, just in case somebody gets some ideas. But I definitely saw something I'm gonna have to go back and check out soon. First things first, got to get Charlie some word so it doesn't really turn into a gang war.
So, you saw it was man-shaped, big man-shaped, but you didn't see his face.
We didn't see his face because he had the hat on,
And
and it was dark.
Remember, he had a muffle. He had a muffle, dark tinted sunglasses, top hat, and you couldn't see. And he was all covered, so you couldn't see him.
right.
And once he throws a head at me, I'm not really interested in his good looks anymore.
You lose your attention to detail at that point.
At that point, yeah. Once you shoot them and then they throw a head at you, it's kind of.
But he didn't have no weapon on him.
Well, he did rip a man's head off.
But that was just his bare hands.
I'm not sure. I didn't get that good a look at it, but I'm gonna guess it was his hands.
When we and the police examined the body last night, did we see claw marks, or I'm trying to remember what the body looked like.
Didn't you say that he ripped into
It
it?
was just torn, but we didn't see claw or teeth marks or anything like that.
No, nothing like that.
So we just got a wicked big strong fella.
Yeah.
Has a penchant for dead bodies, considering he took it with him.
Well, and seems to be...
Shot multiple times and not flinch.
And he seems to be engaged in the criminal underground enough to know Uzu. He's not killing civilians anymore. He knows
Well, it
when
ain't
bad
that
guys
hard to
get
tell
about.
the difference between a thug and a civvy, to be fair. They make it pretty clear who they belong to. At the same time, he's not killing anybody in particular. He's killing low-level street thugs right now, from what I've seen.
He followed... I mean, I'd have to think that
He's at least got enough sense to know who's who.
He followed that guy out of Charlie's and into the posh neighborhood and done him there.
Could have just came across him.
Could be, but it'd be a weird place for him to hunt if Charlie's mates weren't normally in that neighborhood. I'm wondering if we could send out some sort of decoy, which would be an undesirable job to say the least. But we might be able to lure him, which would be madness.
I nominate Corey.
It wouldn't need to be in that.
I already done my. Kennedy's already done his decoy duty, so he ain't doing it again.
Oh, right. We've got 3 individuals here who aren't here, and so I
The 3
was
of them will
thinking
go down the sewer.
the detective.
The good detective would probably be just jump at this
Yes.
opportunity.
I'm trying to think about choices, and they seem to be go down the sewer or try and lure him out.
Right. If you're luring him out, then I'd say use a detective. But if you're going in the sewer, I want to go along. Just
I wonder if we're going about this the wrong way. I wonder if we should look at the first victims and see what set all this off.
right.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself.
Because you covet what you see every day.
He just wants to go down the sewers. I'm perfectly game with checking out what was before.
That other way as well.
Well, it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, what company do I keep nowadays?
It doesn't seem to be keeping much more than occasional heads or arms.
Right.
And
we don't know what he was gonna do. This
he also keeps internal organs. I
know.
kind of mentioned that. Internal organs as well.
Organs?
I mean, we interrupted him. We kind of interrupted what he was in the middle of doing. I'm pretty sure he wasn't trying to get rid of that head right then either.
All right. See, so if he's taking internal organs as well, then I'm back to he's building himself a boyfriend.
So he's made.
Yes.
Or he built himself a dinner plate.
I kind of like his idea better. He's making a print.
He's a prostitute.
He's making his very own gigolo.
Yeah.
Who's going to be half English and
Yeah,
half Chinese?
Hey, you take the best bits from where you can find them.
Yeah. Yes.
You put a little bit of the Chinese in there, especially in London. You've got something a bit more exotic than
He seems
your
to be
regular
handling pretty rough for a loved one, though.
make peace man.
God.
David on the message board is saying, "Red Shirt to the rescue."
Yeah, pretty much.
I should also mention, did you when you guys were interrupting the trees, man, you did find a vial, an empty vial.
Oh, that's right. I had the vial. Good manners.
Here's James.
Hey, James.
Hello, all.
They were just about to sacrifice you for a ritual.
What's
Well,
the
yeah.
vial?
Sacrificing my meal ticket? What are you talking about?
You know they're recording this. He can go back and see what you said.
I never said send James down. I said send a detective.
Yeah, that's. And
I know better than bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly.
Then it's on. Anyway, found this vial in the alley where he was attacking the guy. It looks like he dropped it. I picked it up just in case maybe something was in it. You think you want to take a look at it?
By all means.
Maybe her ladyship can do some chemistry on it.
Yeah, that's probably a good
Oh
idea.
yes, yes.
I just jumped around.
You found this with the Chinese guy who got ripped up.
Yeah, it was dropped when he was running off with the body.
Oh, okay.
You think it was dropped by the killer or by the Chinaman?
It's a little dark. I'm not sure who dropped what.
Right. Head thrown at you, all that.
Yeah.
Could
Okay,
be.
I'll do a little chemistry roll.
James, we kind of weaseled out with our lives like earlier.
Fair
They
enough.
did find the head.
Yeah, James.
They wouldn't let us keep it.
Yeah, James. So what happened basically was you guys talked to like the Limelight District Triads called the Red Dragon, led by Jet Shang, and he had so basically he kind of talked to you guys, and he had a kind of very interesting guy next to him who took some interest in you, but all he did was give you an evil smile and then went his way.
Right.
You also saw a very strange-looking Chinese guy.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
No, that was before we went in there. Remember, there's the one outside, like while we were
okay.
walking in.
No, that
Was that the same guy?
Chinese guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In an old Manchurian dress looking like Christopher Lee. Or did he look
okay.
more like an elephant?
He's gonna swallow your soul. Wait, you don't have a soul. You sold that, didn't you?
That's the only reason you got out of there.
How do you think you got the Rusty Peter?
Hey, if it doesn't do anything, make some money off it.
So,
Anyways, Kim, did you roll for your chemistry?
I did, and I made it.
All right. So basically, looking at since there's not much left of the formula, but for what the residue contains, it's a very interesting foreign element. This is something you haven't seen in chemistry, and you can't really figure out what's in it. But from the properties, you can tell it seems to be kind of a preservation almost. Like the closest thing you can make it out to would probably be like what they use to preserve bodies in kind of funeral parlors and such. That's as close as you can get to it.
So like
Formaldehyde.
I was just gonna say formaldehyde or embalming fluid.
But it's completely foreign. You can't figure out. This stuff is like you're very astounded at the fact that this kind of this chemical or formula, whatever it's in it, you can't figure out what it is or what's it called. It's completely unknown.
Does it glow in the dark?
If only we could replicate it and use a guinea pig. What's this?
again, I nominate the detective.
I first say
third that.
I first want to say that let's make sure that this chemical is kept away from Leah and her character.
Oh no, it's not this character. It's the one that was in the carnival.
Right.
Yes, that's far in the future, dear.
Lolly's just likely to put it in a scone or something.
No,
I'm lost, Cap.
I was just going to suggest that we experiment with it and shove it in a chicken.
Like one.
I would think that if it's made for preservation, you'd put it in with fruit and things like that and jars to keep it.
Hey, it'd be a really moist chicken if it's for preservation.
No,
Moist.
we'll shove it in a chicken and then look at it and see what happens. It's a little chicken.
You are wise in the ways of science.
Cap, is she okay?
A duck.
Yes.
You do keep interesting
The
company.
control bird.
Sure, this may be how those Zelda chickens became immortal.
It'll kill us all.
They might be very interesting characters, but they do seem to have a lot of money. So one keeps the company they keep for reasons.
Hey, I'm not gonna knock where the money comes from, sir. You just know not to trust them. Got you.
keep them at arm's length.
Exactly.
I'm a good cook. I'm not very smart.
I have nothing but the ultimate faith in you, except for your chicken.
Yeah.
Note to self: never eat anything Lolly cooked that's got poultry in it.
It's not the poultry. It's what she shoves in the poultry. You got to
See,
worry
that's
about.
the point. If it's got poultry in it, I know it's nothing good.
Poultry is just the vehicle, you see.
Chicken's gonna get up and kick all our asses.
You don't.
It's a very moist chicken, though.
Oh, dear Lord.
So moist.
No, but eat fresh.
All right. So keeping on track,
There's a track.
some sort of beaten path. We found out. So to keep me up to date here, we found some type of formaldehyde stuff, foreign to what anyone here would know to be from morticians or the like.
Does anybody know any more sisters to ask?
No, that's the closest you can get to it, James. And you don't even know if that's that. That's like as far as you can pinpoint. Everything else is foreign, and you don't know what the hell this is made of, or what it actually does.
But that is a thought. We could go round to all the local morticians or chemistry places in the area and see if any of them know anything about it.
No,
Sounds like kind of a good idea. That's where I was going with it.
It's better than the other plans that we've come up with so far, which are going down in the sewers and talking to the fella face to face.
As I recall, the captain made
with
friends
sending
with
the
a man
detective
that
down
owns
in
a
the
mummy.
sewers.
Sorry, what did I do while I was drunk? I mean,
No, I said, as I recall, in the past, you made friends with somebody who owns a mummy, and we could go and compare notes with him.
Oh, God.
No, we didn't make friends with him, dear.
listen, the captain makes friends everywhere he goes.
Speaking of friends, sir, I'm gonna make sure Charlie knows that the Triad are having similar situation.
That's probably a very good idea.
May
Well
I
done,
kind
Kennedy.
of put a couple of drops of the mystery serum?
Fortunately, there is no mystery serum. There is only residue. Thank God there was nothing in that vial.
Blast.
Okay, so we have the vial. Patrick, you were trying to let me know what else had happened.
Yeah, so basically, like, Jet Chang, the leader of the Triad, basically had a kind of, a friend near him. He looked very unusual. He looked very unusual from the rest of the Chinamen. And, he wore a robe, he had his hands in his robes, he looked very, evil and such. And he kind of had an interest on you, like more or less staring at you and then just kind of offering you a evil smile before you left, and that's about it. Nothing too, hazardous. But that's really it. And basically, the Triads let you go and basically said that you can come in their territory with permission, but if you're finding stupid, such as dealing or, anything else, attacking them, they'll kill you and dip you in acid or something.
Oh, is that all?
The usual plan package that we use when we go somewhere new, sir.
Listen, this is the thing. If Captain Ben isn't getting threatened on a weekly basis, he's not doing his job right.
It's not a good week, sir. It's not a good week. At least 3 death threats. At least.
You know you're getting through to him.
Yeah. So I popped in, and I'm assuming that that's about as far as we've gotten with this.
They also kind of did some research on the murder patterns with the police station, and it started with basically as far as they can pinpoint in Whitechapel. Then it moved on to a few Chinamen, then back to Whitechapel. A few of the Chinamen, Whitechapel, a few of them, and now we're here.
So, have anyone come to the conclusion that this might be someone trying to take over the territory of both Charlie and the Triad?
Yes.
The police theory is that it's some kind of weird gang war started by the Triads by doing some brutal Chinese kind of, torture style of killing, and then the other gangs try to mimic it to them to kind of have like payback, kind of an eye for an eye thing. That's what the police are under assumption of, but that's all they got, or at least they could come up with that makes somewhat sense to the public.
And both the gangs think it's the other gang, so.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, is someone trying to pull like a Joker thing here, where you get the two gangs to fight each other and you take over when they've killed each other?
You can't say. All you got is a pattern.
That's what I'm curious on. I'm trying to play catch up. So
it could be. The superstitious sailor here thinks it's a ghost. That's as far as he's going.
But they're not trying to make it look like it was the other gang.
Yeah, it's a goat. It is a human goat, right. No, a ghost.
Fair enough.
I don't see any horns.
It's a goat, damn it. That's why it wears the hat.
To cover the horns.
Chupacabra.
Can't be a chupacabra because they said it was a goat. If it's not a goat, goats suck.
But what if it's
a vampire?
It's a vampire goat.
Oh, jeez.
It's a human sucker.
Oh, man.
Man-eating cow.
Yes, contacts Abby,
to be fair.
Whitechapel, and the Limehouse District.
To be fair, if you pop a person's head off, it does make it really easy to drink their blood.
But that's not how he was doing it, so we kind of got in the way. I don't think that's how that was supposed to end up.
He's just evolving.
Could be.
So, all right. So have we determined what we're going to do now, aside from looking at a vial that's probably very frightening to...
Well, other than keeping the vial away from Lolly, I have no idea.
Okay.
Oh, and taking care of Charlie, so that's where Kennedy's off to make sure Charlie finds out what's going on.
So far sounds good. So yeah, I'm seeing as though I'm coming in a little behind here on some of the stuff. I will defer to the rest of the group on what they might think we should do, obviously.
Well, we kind of bombed out with the cops. We didn't find much out.
So the cops kind of...
They know less than we do.
Fair enough. Did anyone try and... So we talked to the triads at that lady's house.
No, they took us to their base.
Oh, see, okay, that's a whole other thing.
And then they found the head, and
they took...
yeah, I was really not trying to let them get in. I just told them straight out what we saw.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's been happening here too."
Okay.
They took you to the Shaolin Laundry.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is Shaolin Laundry. Did they? And they took our head, eh?
Mhm. We could always go back, and perhaps after things have died down a little bit, see what if the daughter has anything to say. We were kind of interrupted.
Okay.
And we definitely didn't want her to find out we had that head.
So do we know where this fellow was going when he was... the top was popped off him?
No, he had a letter on him that was in Chinese, and we were going to... Did we keep that letter?
Yeah,
No, they probably confiscated that as well.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Was it a letter sending him out on a mission by...
We don't know it was in Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's squiggly lines. That's what we saw.
I'm just thinking that there was that the first guy we came upon was being sent on an errand as well.
This is a good chance that that's what it was, but we didn't get a chance to find out. That's why we were going to see his daughter to see if we could sweet talk her into reading it for us.
It wouldn't be possible that the two heads of the gangs are sending Min as a sacrifice, but that's madness.
Charlie seems too shook up by this thing, in my opinion, because he's pretty antsy right now.
He's reading.
He's reading some very weird stuff too.
He's a desperate man to turn to books.
Especially the kind of books he's reading.
This Sherlock Holmes shit and that kind of thing.
Okay. So, cops were a bust. Triads were a bust. Charlie doesn't know anything.
I like the idea of asking around about the chemical and maybe seeing if anyone's seen anything odd apart from people being sucked of all their blood and torn apart.
I don't really enjoy suggesting this, but if we decided to try looking back at the scene of the crime, maybe seeing where that thing...
Well, that's what I was going to suggest. It's just I wasn't going to do it at night when he just went down there.
No, exactly. I mean, clearly we do it with as much light as possible.
And at least one of us is very, very game to get down in that sewer. Detective! Chop, chop, detective!
Yeah. As the lady pointed out, the first two people were not gang related, and there may be some link in there as to why it started.
Yes, they were supposedly innocent people.
Aha! We were supposed to be going to a church too.
Yeah, eventually
we did raise a vampire and wanted to go to a church.
Right.
Okay.
I have the keys to the church. And
I remember that much that we discussed holy water before we were snatched up.
Oh yes, yes.
And crucifixes and sharpened table legs.
All right, so well, Captain Ben is always a fan of trying to basically clear things away with fire. So we can definitely couple Molotov cocktails, that would be nice.
Or the equivalent.
Sir, I've already sent word to the ship. They got it ready to go whenever we need it.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
We strap up the detective with black powder charges and send him down into the sewer, and when he grabs him, we set it off.
And shoving up a chicken.
Oh no, we strapped chickens to him.
Oh.
That's where we
All
put
right.
the gunpowder in the chickens, and then we strap them to him.
Now, I apologize for metagaming here, but Matthew, I appreciate the avenue you're going with this, but there is more subtlety involved when trying to kill other players.
Yes, James is a master at it. I'm not bitter or anything.
Right, if I wanted it to be really done, I'd be subtle, but the fact that,
I appreciate knowing where we're going with this and allowing us all to be on the same page.
It's good to have an end game.
Yes.
Yes.
But in the meantime,
It's always good to have a
Put a pin in
plan.
that for now.
Alright,
We'll
so
put a pin
to
in
the
that for
moist
now.
sewers then, or what?
well, we have the church to hit, so we can grab our stuff, and then yeah, I think we probably will have to go into the sewers.
Just imagine the priest in there. Hey, what did you want me to bless the bullets for? Just do
Never
it,
you
Father.
mind.
Just do it.
Alright, so basically,
the priest was kind enough to get me out of Bethlehem in the
Yeah.
first place and to
So-
set me up with the society, so...
yeah, the priest, Dropnik McCormick will probably help you. Otter McCormick.
Okay.
Patrick, I got a question. Would any of us lower class individuals happen to know anyone who might frequent or hang out in the sewers, either professionally or?
Yeah, you would, because you're lower class.
Sure.
If you guys give me a knowledge roll, I'm sure I can find someone specific for you.
Okay.
Oh, right. And actually, maybe...
I hang in the milk back alley to give that a
69
shot.
is,
Woohoo!
oh,
I guess I
that's
should
good.
roll, shouldn't I?
Huh?
Ooh, I made it.
What is the roll for again?
Yep.
Knowledge.
Just like
No.
you know people who frequent the sewers.
Yes.
I don't mess with girlies that go down to the sewers.
Apparently the captain knows.
Do you have friends in low places?
Yeah, the captain has many friends in low places.
Alright, so...
I do too, just not that
I do
low.
too.
So basically, Tim and John and basically Ben, you guys kind of more or less have interacted with a fellow of sorts. Basically, he a scavenger of the sewers and such. He more or less he probably has a decent layout. He sticks to a specific part of the sewers. But he has a bit of like a kind of he has some knowledge of it. He's more than willing to give you a map for a price.
That would be good, and also to see if he has, since these murders started, noticed anything unusual down there. Local flora and fauna behaving oddly, strange things found or heard or seen.
It's sewer life. They all behave strangely.
He says that there are a lot of strange stuff in the sewers, and that could mean anything.
All right. Well, certainly if we could get a map of the sewers between Limehouse and Whitehall, that would be a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna go talk to Dropkick McCormick, Father Dropkick McCormick.
Well, I guess me and John will go talk to the guy with the map, and I guess the other guys can go get the stuff from the church.
Right.
I mean, we can multitask as a group.
Yeah, we can.
We don't have to hold hands everywhere we go.
I don't know, Captain. What do I do?
All right. So let's see here. Where should we start? Let's start with the church then. Okay. So who's ever going to church? Basically, so Rudyard Homeless, you're at basically the Protestant church of Our Fair Lady.
Rudyard.
Rudyard. I'm sorry. Basically, so this is where you live. Father McCormick is on the front steps, you know, kind of enjoying the air, you know, sweeping off the porch.
That's my job. Never mind. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Father.
Ah, Rudyard, how good of you to come.
We've got a bit of a problem of a strange nature through the society that you pointed me at.
Oh, did they manage to help you something, lad?
Not yet, but I'm being a great help to them.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. Keep faith, my son.
I just kind of eyeball you when you say great help, considering what happened with the head. Yeah, you've been a real big help.
I stood up all night to see if I was sat up all night in a chair to see if I'd go crazy and kill someone. So, but
did you say that out loud?
No, I thought maybe did I say that out loud?
Roll luck to see if you said that out loud.
Sorry. We saw something in over that way.
Over there.
Way over there, in that other neighborhood. That well, it seems kind of silly to say, but we think it might be a vampire.
He's like, vampire? Even monster?
It's well, that was we were hoping that we could perhaps get some blessed water and maybe some other blessings, just in case this is a creature of Satan. It is something strange going around lopping people's heads off.
Basically he makes a sign of a cross. He's like, oh dear. If we are gonna be fighting powers of Satan, I'll do all I can.
Appreciate it.
Basically leads you in. So at this point, what do you guys want exactly? Like, you know, for him to do, or you know?
Well, we were going to ask for some holy water.
Definitely
And
get a couple of vials of holy water.
were you serious about blessing bullets?
Oh, I don't actually believe it. You know what? I'm superstitious enough. Yes, I want him to bless my gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like some garlic.
I don't think he has that, dear.
I'm pretty sure you have garlic. We can go back
I
to.
rub that on the bullets too when we find some.
But I would have figured Lolly would have been carrying that with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But it stank. I didn't like the smell.
All right. So some vials of holy water. Some bullets. Anything else?
I'm going to take my little vial of mystery shit and have him give it a whiff and see if he recognizes it.
He does not. He does not know what it is.
Okay.
Hey, Father, I know that you have this the vow of whatever to keep people's secrets and whatnot, but anybody say anything about something like this here?
He's like, oh, good heavens, no.
Would you tell us?
I'm not saying that just to talk to the killer. It's just, you know, has anybody mentioned that they may have seen anything?
Has anyone been using for your services lately?
Oh dear, I'm afraid no one's said anything about this to me. And as such, and as for service, everyone's been showing up. It's been nothing strange has been happening.
No, on signs or portents about any.
No, I've been a good shepherd of my flock, spreading the word of the Lord. No, and I have not seen anything. You've seen anything? But if I did, I would let you know. That's heathenistic actions I would not allow.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Naturally.
So glad Captain Ben's not there.
Anything else you want from Father Dropkick McCormick?
A crucifix for each person, personally blessed by the Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may take a little while.
Yes.
Wine.
I don't know how it was then, but here, there's just around the corner, there's a guy that sells them.
Yes. Me and the Pope do both on
He's got a
Friday.
whole cachet in the back full of them.
Yeah.
He can probably provide you with some simple crucifixes, simple wooden ones.
I'll take one.
Lovely.
You know, and such.
And just, a blessing for each person, personal, saying prayers and making sure we're all right with the Lord. So when we die, we will not go to purgatory, but straight to the pearly gates.
Basically, he nods and performs your last rites and confessions.
What is wrong with you?
I just want to be prepared.
Yeah, so basically he does that, and performs your last rites, some confessions, and some prayers.
I would guess.
Oh, last rites already performed. It's pretty much guaranteed somebody's not coming back in this morning.
Yeah. I mean, for all of these services, I'm sure that he'll probably require some type of something in the alms box.
Oh yeah, I'm the groundskeeper here.
Coming out of your salary.
The most wonderful chicken. Try some.
My salary is
Do try my chicken.
Alright, so...
My salary is I get to sleep in a shed behind the church. That's... so...
No wonder you want to die so quickly.
what was I gonna say? So basically, I'm assuming you guys at the church are all set. Any last things before I move on to the guys with the sewer map?
Oh yes.
Do we see anything?
Question.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should ask him if he's done funeral services for any of these victims, if he's noticed anyone there.
Oh.
He would not have done funeral services because these are not in his district. His church is located kind of out of way of the two, kind of where the two areas are.
That's
so
a big town if there's more than one church.
Well, no, it's like
London.
Yeah, it's London.
Well, one thing is the Chinese. Most of them would probably be Buddhists, a few Catholics and such. Most of the churches here are Protestant and such.
CV, yeah.
And for the record, everyone that said it is London, same team, you bastards.
See, that's
trying to get him to switch on. Thanks a lot. You wonder why Captain throws you guys under the bus.
There's a bus?
And basically, anyone who's from Whitechapel would probably go to a nearer church rather than go to his church. So, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that might be something we should check out then.
Anyways, so is that it? Last call.
For the church, I think that's everything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so off to the guys who talked to their sewer rat. So basically, you guys know a guy named Peter. He basically is like a scavenger of sorts. He scavenges the sewers and such. Sees what he can find down there. So yeah, he more or less has a map. You can make you guys a pretty decent map of what parts of the sewers that he knows, at least of the known parts that he scavenges, and sell that to you if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I'll also ask him if there's any spots that might be a good spot to squat in the sewers.
Oh, basically he nods and he points out a few spots. He's like, over here, 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 here. Oh, and especially one over here. And then basically kind of points out a few spots. At least spots he knows. And yeah, he kind of put them on their map.
Specifically between Limehouse and Whitechapel.
He basically says, yeah, the sewer system runs all over, so
Yeah.
there's definitely there should be a connection. You could probably, if you went down the sewers, you could probably get there to Whitechapel.
Okay. Do we have any other questions you can think of, John, that we want to ask him, or?
Well, let us know if you see anything. Be careful down there. There's clearly a maniac on the loose.
People, hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your husbands.
They're eating
Ripping
everybody
everybody
up
up
in
in
the
here.
sewers.
There's a killer around.
Ain't they got time for that?
Climbing in your sewers, tearing your people up.
Yep.
Trying to eat them, so you better hide your kids and hide your wife.
I can't think of anything else to ask him at the moment, so. But
Send word to the society if he hears of anything.
yeah, just keep his ears and eyes open. Let us know if anything pops up that has to deal with people getting killed, basically, in weird ways.
Because people are always being killed weird in London, right?
This is an especially weird way.
Yeah, people getting their heads ripped off.
Yeah. He basically says, I'll keep an eye for you. As soon as you will, pay me there.
Of course. We'll throw him whatever. What was his price?
A few pounds.
Yeah. Sounds fair. Pay him, John.
Right. I take the captain's purse, pull 2 pounds out of it. I'll pass it back to the captain afterwards.
There's only one small issue with that, John.
There's not 2 pounds in your purse.
Captain doesn't carry money on him.
We'll send some cash round.
That's counterproductive.
Not really.
We should bring some petty cash with us next time.
Well, I assumed that you would have been working for the lady, Our Lady Amelia. I'm assuming that she would have given you some money.
She doesn't let me ship her purse around.
Well, you don't need a purse. She just has emergency booby money.
Yeah, I don't have access to the booby money, sir.
Did you ask? Did you ask?
I suppose I didn't.
Fair enough. We will have to discuss this. We will have to discuss this with Lady Amelia with your ineptitude.
I'll have to look into that, as it were.
Yes. Peter, we will have to do an IOU.
I'll bring you around the money. I'll pick it up and bring it round.
You betcha.
Oh well, we're good for it.
So yeah, you guys are done with Peter. You guys are done with the church. You guys regroup. Any final calls for equipment and such before you guys venture down into the sewers?
I need to get some booby money.
Yeah, just in case. But
Sewers are so full of shops.
Yeah.
Captain One is
So
guns.
we got lanterns and stuff.
Captain One is guns, his saber, and I guess 2 lovely cocktails of the Molotov Persuasion.
That's fine.
I got me rolling pin.
I'll grab my shotgun. And we should probably take this here first aid kit.
And the butcher
In case
knife.
anybody's head comes off.
Right.
I got my gun, my blackjack, and the knife that I got off of old boy.
Do we think we need any rope or anything like that?
Oh,
Never
rope,
hurts to have
yes,
any.
definitely.
So a length of rope and a few lanterns.
A 10-foot pole.
Wrong game.
That wasn't a pole. Sorry, a poking stick.
There you go. We do need one of those, especially going in the sewer. You never know what we'll run into.
Exactly.
David person chat says, going into the sewer, take a bottle of Febreze. I agree.
To answer your question, Kim, yes, you are the only one with rifle skills, as far as I know.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some irony in that, but I'll leave it alone for now.
With what?
With rifle skills.
Oh.
The captain can shoot a gun and wave a sword, but he can't shoot a rifle.
Right.
I don't have rifle, but I've got shotgun.
Yes.
To be fair, would probably be a better weapon in a sewer.
I can sing.
Which is almost as effective.
Not very well.
Okay, it will actually be more effective.
I didn't know trying to crush this thing's soul.
Yeah.
It will probably be as effective as a gun.
It might be, knowing my low skill in sing.
If I go down to the genuine Sully.
All right, I guess we're going back to the scene of the crime to go find where the heck this thing went.
Alright, so everyone's armed with their personal choice of long arm and short arm, saber, etc., etc. Alright?
Right.
Alright, so...
Chemistry stat, family rifle, etc., etc.
Yeah, so, you guys...
And,
yeah.
So
basically, the way you guys are going to operate is basically bringing all the stuff along. You guys have it hidden in bags and such until you guys get to, into the sewer in order not to cause suspicion. And basically, yeah. So you arrive at the crime scene. The body's been removed. There's, most of it's, the blood is dried there. Some of it looked like it was tried to clean up, and then something screw it and stuff, and basically leads into the sewer.
Would you say the sewer is quite damp?
Just a bit moist, sir. Just a bit moist.
Okay, so opening up the sewer, it's pretty dark, and it's not so damp, but there's a few puddles in here along the way.
Let's not think about them.
This is not the sewer to worry about.
Yeah.
Matthew, I love the tick reference on the board. That was awesome.
Let me have a look at that map there, sir.
By all means, Kennedy, see what you can do.
Okay, I'm gonna roll navigate to see if we go anywhere in particularly good.
Oh, five.
You know it all.
And of course, for adventure.
Sir, we're good to go, sir. Let's do this.
All right. So you have a pretty good idea of like the sewer system that Peter has provided you with.
I rolled an 05 out of 60. I know this fucking city inside out now.
You basically have a very good knowledge of like all the known sewer systems that Peter does.
I no longer need the map. Let's go. That roll's gonna come back to haunt me.
So you guys kind of walk into the sewer. You guys all like make your way in the sewer. I'm assuming it's pretty dark out, so dark in there. I'm assuming you brought some lanterns of some sort, or matches, or something?
I did say I wanted some lanterns. Numerous times.
Okay. So basically, you close the sewer hatch, light up the lantern, and there's some like specks of blood on the walls, like leading into like to the north of the tunnel, and it's and yeah.
So one would assume we follow the blood trail?
What he said.
Yes, let's follow the blood.
Detective and shotguns first.
After you, Ryut.
Yeah. Yes, agreed.
Alright. The tunnel system's actually pretty big, so you can huddle up as a group. You could probably fit 3 or 4 in a row if you guys like.
As I recall, Wasn't he shot multiple times before and didn't even flinch?
I believe I did shoot him twice, yes. And then Good Cap shot him once.
Right.
I mean, he sort of flinched. He did throw a head at us.
That's true. Clearly, he didn't like what we were doing.
It was loud.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you walk along the tunnel, the sewer system smells dank, it smells bad. There's a few, like, streams of water, or what makes out for water in the sewers, at least. You know, kind of running along, some more in one area, some less in another area. And the tunnel's just, you know, there's some cracks there and there. Time of day. I believe you guys will be traveling sometime kind of noonish, right?
Good, because if it's night, I'm not going in there. We're backtracking, and I'm staying up top.
Yeah, no, I assume like noonish, 3 to 4, maybe.
There's a difference there.
Yeah. Anyways, so you guys keep traveling on. You come across an intersection.
Okay.
The blood trail seems to go to the right, but yeah.
Should we follow the blood?
The blood, like the blood trail, like you've been following a blood trail on the walls and such.
Well, we can continue following that, or we can say we tried.
Let's just go home.
Yeah, it's time for the vacation on the Rusty Pizza.
It's time for tea.
Rusty down here.
Time for tea.
Tea, like I brought my tea kettle.
And by tea, I mean whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and all jokes aside, I think that we would probably try and go follow the blood trail for now.
Yeah, that's my guess as well.
Yeah, I'll keep following
that's something we can need to keep track of where we're going.
Yeah.
Not that I need it. I know this fucking sewer inside out now.
Yeah. Alright, so here's kind of what happens. Okay, so you guys keep walking along the right tunnel. As you keep walking, you hear kind of sounds coming in front of you as you get nearer and nearer. You can't make it out, but as you get nearer and nearer, the sounds kind of get louder and louder, and it kind of echo much more clearer. Yeah. And as you keep walking, you see something. You see basically like in like
is it
3
Mr.
figures.
Hanky the Christmas poo?
No. You see kind of what appears to be 3 pale gorilla-like figures wearing kind of like loincloths with like hair running down their heads, and 3 of them kind of eating a corpse.
Oh bloody hell!
And it appears to be the Chinese man. Can anyone give me a spot hidden?
Oh, I can do that.
Try.
Alright, I think I only got 3 so.
I only have a skill of 50 in spot hidden.
I see. I see. Whatever it is, I see it.
I did not see it.
I saw everything.
Damn it! I have a feeling that I don't want
14
to
out of
see
65. I see whatever the hell it is, and I'm probably
Alright.
not happy about it.
I'm sure I don't want to see it, but I do. I got a 0 to 8.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what happens. Kim, you manage to see what looks to be a letter-bound kind of ledger on the side, also a bit covered in blood, a little bit here. And James, you kind of see from the back a figure approaching as well.
What did I see?
Oh, yeah, you see the same thing as him. You see like another kind of the same kind of monster in front of you coming back, but there's only one of them.
Now,
And
is
where
it
is this
the
ledger?
kind of thing that we feel like if we got out of its way, it wouldn't notice us, or do we think that it's seen us?
Oh, that's the best part. They do notice you.
Oh shit!
Fair enough.
Your light agitates them to an ungodly degree, and
Yay.
they literally like see you, and they're like somewhat like almost blinded, but but it hurts so much that they're like rushing toward you.
The Morlocks. I was talking about the time machine last week.
You've been reading Mr. Burns' books again, haven't you?
This is not the time, gentlemen. Click, click.
Let's discuss the literary merits.
Bulls or
Yeah.
cats?
Alright, so 3 coming in front, 1 coming in back. Battle plans, baby.
Which are closer?
I saw that.
Okay, I think we light up our Molotov cocktails and give them a light source to be afraid of.
Yeah, I definitely think one
Light source,
toss
let's run
through
away.
to the front would definitely be in order just to keep them at bay. Maybe not hit them, but definitely hit the feet in front of them.
And ready my cavalry saber.
Well, then I ready my gun towards the guy in the back.
I got me butcher knife and me rolling pin.
And a chicken.
Oh yeah, the chicken.
Throw the chicken,
Those are
it'll
the
save
bodies.
us.
They might want to
Actually,
eat
that's
it.
not a bad idea. Give them a corpse to chew on.
Sweet cutlery gifts.
Yes. I grabbed my chicken by the legs and I twirl him around my skull.
The Molotov chicken.
Yeah.
That's
Patrick,
what it is
the
about.
captain tosses a
Floating
Molotov.
Floating.
Alright, so give me a throw. A roll?
Yeah, it was a 58.
Okay, you pass?
No, I fail by about 10.
Alright, let me see. So, give me, let's see, since you missed, yeah. Give me a luck roll.
That the captain has. In spades. Oh, I make my luck.
Alright, so here's what kind of happens. You basically, you hit, your Molotov kind of flies at an angle, hitting the side of the wall, and it kind of bursts out the side, and it kind of distracts the Morlocks for a bit, kind of like, they're kind of like rushing to the side, avoiding it, and, you know, yelling further. You know, so they're kind of halted, you kind of slowed, more or less slowed into a halt for like a brief moment.
I've given you gentlemen time to load your weapons, shoot them in the face, and carry on. Do your thing.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so
Always
there's
loaded, Captain.
and okay, and basically the guy at the back is still coming at you. Yeah. So who's next?
I will unload the first barrel on the first closest of them.
All right.
Of the 3 in the front.
Okay.
Kablooey. Oh, that's not good.
God.
Alright, so the first one's a miss.
Yeah. They're moving around so much that you missed.
Alright, I will take a shot.
All right. Front or back?
12!
Cam, front or back?
I don't think Kim
Back.
noticed the back one, did you?
Yeah, we noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we
me and Lily
haven't had a chance
noticed.
to yell it. Hey, there's one in the back too. There, now you've noticed.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Okay,
Shoot,
Kim,
you wanna
so-
shoot, Kim.
I'm shooting the one in the back.
Okay, so 2d6s, please.
Okay.
Six. Alright, so basically you kind of shoot him in the stomach. He kind of knocks him to the ground, but he's picking himself, but you know, so you gotta hit him in the ground, he's like lying on the ground, but he's still kicking.
Mm-hmm.
So he's momentarily halted as well.
No, I'm taking 2 shots.
Alright.
I'm gonna throw my smelliest perfume at him and let him choke on it.
You already made your move.
I hit one and fail other, so
Alright, so where are you shooting, front or back?
I'm shooting the back.
Okay.
For 4.
Okay. Let me see here. Camera over 6. So basically, you basically shoot him kind of in the shoulder as he was trying to get up, and he's like you know, you knock him down back, and he's really struggling to get up, but he's still
Getting ready to
kicking.
run. That's what I yelled at everybody.
And when we find out later, he was like, "Surprise! It's your birthday."
It's not my birthday, bitch.
Tag, you're it.
Thought you were someone else.
Okay, who's next?
Well, I'm standing ready with the cavalry saber, waiting for them to close ranks.
All right. So Thaddeus and Corey aren't here. So if anyone wants to roll basically gun rolls for them, I can see the shot.
I'll have Corey shoot one of the ones in the front.
Sure.
I don't know what. Well, he got a 13. I'm assuming he got one in between the eyes.
Something like that. Oh, front or back? Wait. Oh yeah.
Front with Corey because he was in the front.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, give me a d6.
What kind of wimpy ass gun does he have?
45.
3.
He has a 45. That's a d6, isn't it?
I really don't know.
A 45 revolver says 1d10 plus 2.
Oh,
It should be more because I have a 38. That's a 1d10.
Thank you.
Yeah.
38
plus 2
is 1d10. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Yeah.
Well, he got no better than before. He got a 4.
So he kind of grazes one of them. All right. So my turn. Rudyard. One of them comes and attacks you. 1 sec.
Well, hit him then.
Give me a dodge, quick.
What about Lily? Does Lily not get to hit one with a rolling pin?
I don't have a rolling pin. What are you talking about?
No, not Lily. Lolly.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I am not dodging. I'm.
All right. 1 sec. One sec.
Not dodging by 30 points.
Okay. Doesn't matter because the guy basically kind of misses regardless. Wooly, you're in front as well, right?
And I was guarding me Lady Amelia.
Alright.
Yeah. Butcher knife and rolling pin at the ready.
Yeah, okay, so one of them attacks you, one of them in dodge.
Which, that would be a percentile.
Yes.
You get your dodge skill.
Fail miserably.
Alright, let me see here.
I fail miserably.
Alright, so basically one of them hits you. Hold on. Okay, they practically do. He does like half a point of damage.
He did a half a point of damage.
Yes.
Oh no.
You broke a nail.
He's doing half a point.
Yeah. So yeah. Then the third one basically kind of is on the trail of the other two. So yeah, back to you guys. Your moves again.
Well, what was it? Wasn't Rudyard? Did you get to swing your saber at all, or?
Oh no! Yeah, no.
Yeah, so he hasn't even had a turn yet.
Feel free.
All right, go ahead.
All right. 2.
Oh.
Oh, good lord. What's your saber damage?
Saber is 1d8 plus 1.
Yeah, double that.
Yay! Let's see what you get.
That would be 7, 8, 16.
Oh,
Nice.
How about these?
16. Okay, so basically, here's what happened. As the guy kind of comes up, you basically slash his head off,
Sweet.
and basically you twirl your saber, and basically, like with one thrust, basically into his chest, and let the body fall to the ground.
Very nice.
we will examine him
I am
later.
Rudyard Humbus.
Well done, Rudyard.
Die.
Have him stuffed and mounted.
And I would like to add, for all the games that Rudyard has been here, that is the first check he gets on a skill.
It's a good one.
Yay.
All right, who's next? So one down.
Molly, wanna skill him?
Yeah. I'd like to bash him in the skull with me tea kettle.
What, the one that Rudyard put down on the ground? That's kind of counterproductive.
No, another one closed on Lolly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so Lily, do you want to attack? Go ahead, roll.
Okay. Yay! I've got a pretty good skill with my kitchen utensil. Let's see.
Indeed, she has.
I got an 3.
Oh!
Good lord. Alright, so roll me a d6 that doubled.
D6 times 2?
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, yes.
Good lord. Alright, so basically with your butcher knife, you basically kind of slam it into his neck, like on the side of his neck, and basically blood squirts out. And it basically kind of collapses.
You gave him a spout.
Oh, I did. Unfortunately, this is not the kind of meat that we eat.
Alright, 2 down.
So,
2 down. 2 down, and there's 1 more left.
Alright, next round I will unload my other barrel on him.
Alright, give me a roll.
See if I can actually hit something this time. Oops, ignore the d6s, but the 25 hits.
Alright, so give me...
The 2 d6s can be damaged.
Isn't a shotgun 3d6?
oh, of course.
20 gauge?
Yes.
16
Yes,
gauge?
it is. It's a double barrel. I think I have it down as a 10.
Okay.
Give me another d6 and then we'll add it to that.
I won't argue.
Oh, 10 gauge. 46 plus 2.
Alright, so basically, with your gun, you basically fire your shotgun, and it basically blows off his face.
I'll take that.
Nice.
He wasn't doing much with it anyway.
No.
No, he was kind of eating earlier.
Filthy thing.
Yeah. So there's 1 more. He's basically in the back. He bled out already, so he's dead. So, yay, they're all dead.
I will reload.
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, looking at what they were eating, you realize it was the Chinese man that got decapitated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, let's take his body back and put the head back on.
That'd be kind of problematic considering we don't have the head.
Yeah.
We did!
Yeah, but someone took it away from us.
Well, let's give it to that person. Maybe they need the body.
I'd rather not.
Would appreciate having that chum back.
While everyone is doing their lovely discussions of what to do with the body,
To the body
captain,
to check it.
captain
Oh yeah,
will
we
be
need to
taking these
run
people,
away.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
whatever
snatch
these
that
things
letter.
are, and putting the saber into each of their neck, just to be sure.
Do you like the poking sticks?
Rudyard is not one of them, but there are people that saw a journal.
Yes, I'm gonna snatch up that ledger.
Yes. So Kim, so you basically find a ledger. It does not look to be from the Chinese man. They're all dead. Anyways, so it appears not to be from the Chinese man, but it looks like maybe that guy who ripped out the head kind of owned it, because it has blood on it, and it seems to be fairly large.
Okay. And can I read it at all? Or is it
Yes, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna have
Oh.
Alright.
Can you repair to the surface?
Hefty ledger you've got.
Yeah, do you guys want to peer the surface, or do you just want to read it there first?
Let's take it back home.
Alright.
And well,
I've got plans for that ledger.
Alright, so basically, you guys leave the Morlocks to the rats.
Are we bringing back one of the heads so we can show the cops what's going on down here? Or Charlie, or whoever else we want to clue in?
Kennedy.
The one head that was not lopped off.
Sir?
we may need some evidence.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Go get the detective to go get ahead.
I'm going to take some samples from these things.
His name is Mr. Fredericks. Why don't you come help me with this?
We have a bag,
By
I think.
help, I mean you do it while I watch.
All right, Kim, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll just
Let me
do
put
it.
in your samples.
Yeah, I'll
You don't have to work.
You deal with the head. I got you covered.
I will. Okay, for the sake of avoiding any more trouble, I'll just say you guys bring the body and put in storage for out of sight. Okay.
Okay.
We'll put it in
Well, Rudy already made it very easy to bring a head back. I mean, you already decapitated one of them.
Right.
Well, whatever.
Keep this
We'll
one.
just put it in a bag.
All right. So moving along, whatever. You guys got a head. You got a body. Whatever you want.
There's a certain
Deal with heads, Rudy.
well, there's a certain poetry to I started the game with the head in the bag, and I'm going to end the game with the head in the bag. So.
All right. So okay. So basically, looking at the ledger, it appears that it's basically very detailed numbering, basically people, locations, names, parts. It's basically very stock info. You notice, hold on a sec here. You notice that basically he has a list of locations, and these stand out for you, basically. So Chen's Tea Shop is basically where the Chinese man was from, who you've been to. It's on the list. The Wet Mermaid, Charlie's Place. Basically it has basically a list of 3 warehouses and a house outside of London.
Okay.
House outside of London.
Oh, this sounds like an exciting day trip.
So basically, do you guys want to end here, or do you guys want to explore one location and then call it? And then
One more location, and I think calling it a night would be
yeah.
fun with me. But it depends. Hang on a sec. Let's do the rounds. How are you holding up, Leah?
I'm fine. It's been a while, so yes, I'll get back into the swing of things. Let's go.
All right with doing one more small quick search before we call it a night?
I've already passed out for the evening. I'm good to go.
All right. So for the sake of I'll say that you guys go to the warehouse because that will probably be a good way to finish off this area. No complaints?
No complaints.
Yep.
That's
Let's
cool.
do it.
All right. All right. So basically, okay. So basically, the warehouses are basically basically it's one large warehouse, but it was like basically kind of remodeled from 3. It's a privately owned one. It's not under guard. There's a lock on the door.
Well,
Warehouse under guard.
No guards.
Oh. I thought you said there were guards. Okay.
No, I said
Not under guard.
Oh, not under guard. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry.
I should have made a listen roll.
Failed. I could give the lock a try.
Yep.
If anyone doesn't have an objection.
No objection here.
I occasionally have a way with them, but I'm not great. I'm not good enough. Would someone else like to give it a try?
I would love to give it a try.
That is a hammer.
I'll make a luck roll. 90.
Oh.
Missed it by 5.
Basically, this is what happens. You kind of go to the lock and say open. And when it doesn't open, you basically shake on it. Open, 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 open!
Open for me.
Don't you know who I am? Open
Blast!
How dare you?
I shall write you a very sturdy letter after this.
All right.
Captain makes his luck roll,
Sure.
so I just push on the door.
Alright. So basically, since the lock is pretty much shut, basically it kind of snaps, and basically, yeah, you're able to get in the warehouse. Now, basically, the warehouse appears to have a lot of crates.
Hang on. The detective goes first.
Alright. you see a lot of basically, you see a lot of crates, some of them covered. You see a kind of a cylinder covered by a sheet, and maybe a few open crates. He also notices a few kind of like clear glass barrels. A lot of them are empty, but one of them is filled with blood.
Well, we should definitely check that one out.
Open crates.
Let's pull that sheet down and see what's underneath it.
Yeah, so looking also in the crates, you notice a lot of technology. Like, this is a lot of the electronical technology of Victorian era. Like, basically, this stuff is pretty expensive and high advanced, especially in this time frame of having this stuff. And with mixing with this stuff, it's kind of weird. So it's a lot of technology, electronical Tesla coils, stuff like that. Does anyone want to pull off the spreadsheet off the cylinder?
Absolutely.
Thaddeus is dying to do that.
All right. So as he pulls it off, in the cylinder is basically filled with liquid, and in it it's floating basically a kind of a mutated body with limbs attached to it, basically sewn on, and a deformed face.
Right, he is making a friend.
And basically, it's kind of floating, and yeah, I think that's where we'll end it.
All right.
Do we make a sand roll
I feel
before we leave?
What color is the liquid that he's suspended in?
Who's saying the same team earlier?
Blue.
Yeah, good point.
Wow. Captain's not
go crazy.
He's fine.
Yep.
I just want to compare the vial with the color of the stuff.
If I remember correctly, the vial was clear, so I don't think you're gonna notice anything.
But there was residue in it. The residue.
Yeah, but I think he told us that you couldn't really see anything. I just brought it on the whim that it did have something in it.
Could you smell it?
No. There was a man throwing a head at me. No, I didn't smell the fire.
All right.
It smelled like it came out of a.
Okay, guys. So that is the end of the adventure. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Mike, we just wrapped up.
Awesome. Did you guys have fun?
Oh, absolutely.
We killed things.
Yes.
Lots of Morlocks.
We pretended to kill things.
Well,
Yeah,
if you guys can let me know in the next couple of days or so if we're going to play next Wednesday night, because that's the night before American Thanksgiving. So.
Okay. Well, being Canadian, it doesn't affect me. We've already had our Thanksgiving, but
yes,
I will defer to the rest of you.
So, yeah. Let me know when you know, in a day or two. That way we can plan ahead.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for playing, guys. And thanks for being the game master, Patrick.
No problem.
I don't know if you heard, James, but we're doing Horror on the Orient Express next game. So it came out.
I get to be Walter on the Horror of the Orient Express?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
Just in time for Christmas. It's a Christmas miracle.
It is a Christmas miracle.
That's right. Well, what is this?
A Christmas mirror on the Miracle on the Orient Express.
Time we start that, I think. Because that's 6 weeks from now. Maybe a little bit before Christmas.
Walter will be visited by three ghosts: the future, the past, and the present.
Lago can't wait to go on a trip.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
I think it's high time I got to meet y'all.
Let's get us some train fuel, hey boyo?
Exotic train.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Adios.
Thank you, Mike.
Adieu.
See you soon.
Yeah.